Good morning, sir.
குட் மார்னிங் தம்பி. ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் யாரும் ஸ்க்ரீன் ப்ரெசென்ட் பண்ணாதீங்க போ.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning,
ஸ்க்ரீன்
sir.
மைக்
morning.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
என்ன பாப்பா?
ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் யாரும் குட் மார்னிங் சொல்ல வேண்டாம், சொல்லும்போது சொன்னா போதும். ஓகேவா? யாரும் ஸ்க்ரீன் ப்ரெசென்ட் பண்ண வேண்டாம். கொஞ்சம் ஆடியோ வீடியோ மியூட் பண்ணிட்டு சைலண்டா இருங்க ப்ளீஸ். ஆடியோ வீடியோ ஆஃப் பண்ணிருங்க. உங்களுக்கு கொஸ்டின் கேட்டா மட்டும் ஆன்சர் பண்ணுங்க. மற்றபடி யாரும் ஆடியோ பண்ண பேச வேண்டாம். ஓகேவா?
Okay, sir.
ஓகே. வீடியோ கவுண்ட் இருக்கா?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am.
இப்ப வேற பொண்ணு பேசுங்க.
The human connection is the key to personal and career success. Coaches express ourselves clearly and confidently. Communicate the means to register our thoughts, feelings, and defend our statements. Today's webinar, Developing Communication Skills, will for the necessary qualities required for good communication. We are proud to have organized the very first webinar of this academic year in topic. To begin with, I am able to address the attendees.
Good morning to all of you. In this pleasant day, I would like to welcome the resource person, Professor R. Praveen, who is the Assistant Professor of English in Dr. NGP College of Education for this webinar. Welcome you, sir. So on behalf of all the members of faculty in Basic Science Department and the students, I present to you the resource person, to the audience. I hope this presentation by our resource person will be very useful to all of you who are attending. Thank you.
The resource person of today, Mr. Praveen, has their university, MS from Pondicherry University, and also has got MSc in Yoga to his credit. He has cleared NET National Level Eligibility Test in Education, pursuing PhD in Educational Technology at Bardia University. He is specialized in English language teaching, also a Hatha Yoga practitioner. He is a black belt awardee in karate, and is very good at pencil sketching. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now it's time for highlight of today's webinar. I request Mr. Praveen to conduct the session.
Hello? 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 Am I audible? Hello? 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 Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Hello?
The audible is visible, sir.
Hello? 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 Hello?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, all right. Respected principal and respected vice principal, members of the faculty, and dear students, a very good morning. I'm invited to make a presentation on developing effective communication skills of the students. Without much
Yes, sir.
ado, let's get started. Whether the screen is displayed, whether the slide is displayed. Hello, everyone. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Okay.
Sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Thank you. Okay. Before jumping into the topic, we'll have some informal conversations. Is that okay for you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can somebody read what is there in the slide? You could find some comics.
I told to cover his eyes
With an
With
complete
an
it, just complete it.
iPad.
with an
Yeah,
iPad.
See what the nurse has done. She has used an iPod instead of iPad. She has used an iPod. See how funny she is. Yeah, it is because of miscommunication, isn't it? You agree? Instead of covering with iPad, the nurse has used iPod, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, what do you observe from this picture? Your interpretation.
And that is way we left on there.
On three.
On three.
Lift on three. Okay, so due to miscommunication, the patient is dropped. Okay, only they are holding only their legs. isn't it? Yeah, it is all because of miscommunication. And next, can somebody read it?
Let's eat grandma. Let's eat grandma.
Yeah, let's eat grandma, and let's eat a pause and
Punctuation
grandma.
save
Yeah,
life.
punctuation saves lives. The first one, let's eat grandma, literally means eating grandma, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And next one, let's eat, pause. You need to have a pause. Let's eat together, which means let's eat together. All right. Yeah. So even the punctuation makes the differences. All right. Next, one more. It is commonly experienced by the students. Can somebody read it out?
Your mom and
Your
I
mom,
are
your
going
mom,
to
divorce next month. Going to divorce.
what?
Next month.
Why?
What?
Call me,
What?
please.
Call me, please. Okay, this is a response by the son. All right. I wrote Disney, and this phone changed it. Okay, this happens, isn't it? And we are all going to Disney. All right. So miscommunication. It leads to adverse effects, isn't it? Have you all experienced this? You type something and your phone produces something else. Have you all experienced it?
No, sir.
No. It is
Yes, sir.
quite common, man. It's quite common.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you have experienced it. Good. Okay. Now,
Yes, sir.
good communication skills are the key to success. Do you agree? So, if you
Yes, sir.
possess good communication skills, you can attain success. And communication is nothing but an art or a skill. This can be learned or acquired through practice. And what does communication mean? What is your idea about communication? Do you have any idea about communication? Everybody says communication is must. You have to improvise your communication skills. And what does that communication mean? The so-called communication mean? Can somebody respond? Do not bother about the correctness of your response.
The
Communication is nothing but it is a two-way process. I remind you, it is a two-way process. I would like you to
It's help
respond
to
to my
communicate.
questions. Yeah. Okay. What is my question is what is mean by communication? Okay, exchange of information. Okay, you exchange information. You exchange your ideas, messages by speaking, writing, or by using some other medium. Okay, it can be non-verbal also. Yes, and the process of understanding and sharing information. You understand. Okay, the information is understood, and you respond. You share information. All right. And the ideas and opinions by word of mouth. We use oral communication in order to communicate our messages, isn't it? And exchange of thoughts and ideas through gestures, signs, signals, speech, or writing. And sometimes we tend to communicate our ideas and thoughts even through our gestures, using our body language, some kind of expressions, some kind of movements. We communicate something to the listeners, isn't it? By nodding your head in order to agree to someone. And why is communication important? Is communication important? Friends, are you with me? Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Is communication important?
Yes, sir.
Is communication important? Yes. Important for expressing information,
importance
behavior,
of mixing
and
initial
our feelings and thoughts. Okay. And we have to be more expressive, isn't it? and helps to understand and respond to others' feelings, thoughts, knowledge, and behavior. Okay, so the communication helps you to understand the message and respond back to the listener. All right, so we exchange our feelings, ideas, thoughts, or knowledge, and whatever. And we have basics of communication. We must know the basics of communications. Communication is simply a two-way process. It is not an one-man show. Rather, it is a two-way process of exchanging ideas, information, or transmitting verbal and non-verbal messages. It can be your message can be transferred to your listeners verbally, that is orally, or it can be done non-verbally. Even through your gestures, it can be transferred. Your messages can be transferred. All right. And basics of effective communication. Here, just underline the word effective communication. So it matters not so much what you say as it does how you say it. See, here is a picture. Can you interpret this picture? Can somebody interpret this picture, please? So what do you find in this picture? Can you find a grandma narrating a story to the granddaughter?
Yes, sir.
Yes. See, the child could visualize the content. Okay. While the grandma narrates the story, maybe a bedtime story, the child would be able to visualize the content. See, here the child could visualize a Cinderella, isn't it? Yeah. That's how it should be. How you communicate, how effective you communicate, and not what you communicate. All right. Follow me?
Yes, sir.
And
Yes, sir.
learning all communication
Yes, sir.
styles is important. That's more important. We have different sources, different means, and different ways to communicate our ideas. And in order to avoid communicating in less effective ways, so when you understand all other ways, effective communication ways, so that you can get rid of less effective communications. And people are not difficult. I repeat, people are not difficult. They can understand your communication. They only seem difficult to the extent that we do not have the skill to deal with what they bring to the table. It is our lack of knowledge that makes the situation difficult. So here you could find a picture. Here is a story of a picture depicting the story of cab seller and monkeys. Do you remember?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The cab seller and the monkeys. So here he has proved and he has communicated effectively in order to get back his cabs from the monkeys. See how effective his communication is?
Yes, sir.
How difficult it is to manage or handle the situation, but through his communication, he was able to get back his cabs. All right? Okay. And effective communication. So effective communication here is in the form of equation. Effective communication is equal to productive relationship. What do you mean by productive relationship? When you have effective communication skills, that paves the way for productive relationship. What do you mean by productive relationship? Just guess the answers. Make wild guesses, please. Let's be interactive. Let's communicate each other.
They help us in life.
Life. Okay, now focus on the word relationship, productive relationship. You can befriend someone, you can make good relationship, you can maintain good relationship with others if you are communicating effectively. Do you agree?
Okay, sir.
Imagine if you don't communicate at all. If you're not interested in communicating with someone, so what would happen in the relationship? Obviously, there would be an end to the relationship, isn't it? See, for example, the relationship between the teacher and student. there must be some communication, isn't it? If the communication is good, they can maintain good relationship. Do you agree? And son and parents. Okay, son and parents. All right. And why do we communicate? The purpose of our communication. What would be the purpose of our communication? Why we communicate to others? Examples from your experiences. I would like to listen to your experiences. Why do we communicate? Why do we want to communicate? Tell me. Obviously, to get information, we need some information. For example, where shall I find the library? For example, you are newly admitted at a college. You are new to the surroundings environment. In this case, you wanted to visit the college library. You asked someone, you wanted to get the information, the location of the college library. Where shall I find the library? Yes. And to motivate someone, you could find your friends being depressed, demotivated. In that case, you will have to motivate your friends as a friend. Yes. And you praise someone, you appreciate, you compliment someone. For example, hi, John, your shirt is good. You're looking smart in this shirt. You praise. Or you praise someone for their achievements. Well done. Bravo. Excellent. Good presentation. You praise. And you make friends. You intend, for example, you're newly admitted in a college. You wish to have more friends. Isn't it? Would you like to have more friends? What would you do? Hello? Follow me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
What would you do to
Yes, sir.
get more friends? How to get
Communicate.
how to make friends? Come on.
Sir, communicate.
Yeah, how do you communicate? You try to impress someone through your words, through your communication, as somebody rightly pointed out. And you greet someone, isn't it? Often we greet our elders, teachers, greetings, birthday wishes, etc., etc. All right. And we have forms of communication. Verbal is divided, it's classified into verbal, non-verbal, and written. So when it comes to verbal communication, we have face-to-face interaction or conversation. You follow me? F represents face-to-face. And telephonic conversation. When it comes to verbal communication, it is telephonic conversation. All right. And non-verbal, through gestures, we communicate, non-verbal. You don't use words to communicate, rather you use some movements, gestures, facial expressions to communicate something. And the last, we have written communication. This is formal, and we have both formal and informal. Where do we use formal communication? For example, when you wanted to avail leave, we write formal letters, isn't it? Do you have the habit of writing letters while availing leave? Friends?
Sir?
Yes, sir.
Do you write formal letters? Leave
Yes, sir.
letters?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good. Good.
Yes,
That's
sir.
a practice. That's a good practice, and you must follow it. And informal writings, for example, we write some essays, informal essays, or we write something to a friend. It can be in the form of text. Using mobile gadgets, we communicate something. We write on Facebook, WhatsApp, social media, Isn't it? All those are informal writings, and sometimes we use text messages. Isn't it? Text messages. For instead of saying thanks, thanks, rather we use it as what? Text messages. How do you write thanks in text messages? Can somebody respond?
THX.
THX. Okay, then TANX. Then. And for good night, simply GN. See how lazy we are. Yes? Are we lazy?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You agree? Okay. Why this is happening? Why we are using short forms? Don't you think the language is getting deteriorated or losing its power? Okay, that's a different story. Okay, next we'll move on to verbal communication. What do you understand from verbal communication? The term verbal communication. Verbal communication. Can you guess the meaning from the picture? Picture.
Knowledge, sir.
Yes, sir.
No. Verbal communication. See words. Can you find words coming, letters and words coming out through the mouth of someone?
Sir, symbols.
Yes. Yes, please.
Symbols, sir.
Yeah, symbols, words. It is not symbols. Rather, those are letters and words. Okay, we'll assume it. Okay, we'll assume it as words. Okay. And use of words. Verbal communication, we use words. The speaker use words. Are supposed to use words, numbers, and symbols. All right. And the tone, the pitch, the quality, the rate of speech carries more weight than the words. Anybody could use words. It has to be structured. See to that. Make sure the communicator have to structure the speech in an effective manner. There should be some intonation, the tone, variations, the pitch, rising and falling intonation. For example, the speaker is addressing a condolence meet, so he has to reduce his speech. He cannot express his joyful mood. Rather, he has to express his sympathy to the dead person. All right. For example, somebody is making an initiative for a trip, field trip, or an educational tour. In that case, you can be more joyous, okay? And that can be expressed in your temperament, your tone of your voice. Listen, your happiness can be expressed in your voice. Do you agree? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
And the later convey the emotions. Okay, your words should possess emotions. Okay, it has
Yes,
to
sir.
be, it has to be you have to be expressive. All right, and through your expressions, through your tone and temperament, the listener should be able to guess whether it is a good news or a bad one. All right, so that matters a lot. Fine. Next, oral communication. It is spoken rather than written. It is verbally. Okay, it is using words. It is spoken. And oral communication is the process of understanding and sharing information. Okay, in oral, what is happening in the process of oral communication? You understand, you share information and ideas and opinions by words. Isn't it? Do you agree? We use words to transfer ideas, transmit ideas to someone else. Next, oral communication can be either informal and formal. Okay. The first picture, what do you observe on the first picture? The above picture on the right top corner.
They were raising the
They are friends. Yes, you agree? They are friends. And they are communicating with each other orally, and they are quite informal, isn't it? They are quite informal. Yes. And I think they must be communicating some nonsense. See, you must be lucky to have a friend, because whatever you speak, your friend listens to you, isn't it? Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, your friend would lend his ears, hours together. Yes, whatever you speak, any nonsense you speak, he listens to you. He or she listens to you. And that is why he is called as a friend. Yes? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, examples of informal oral communication. So face-to-face conversations and telephonic conversations. You converse through mobile phones. The telephone nowadays, it has become obsolete, no more in use, has become old-fashioned. However, we use mobile phones, isn't it? We use mobile gadgets, advanced models, yes, to communicate with our friends. And we have some discussions at common places. It can be at restaurant or some park, yes, malls, etc., etc. And when it comes to formal oral communication, for example, meetings, presentations at meetings, board meetings, and classroom lectures, and all these are formal oral communication. Okay, formal, it should be formal oral communication. Okay, and the picture, see, can you find the picture, the last one?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yeah. Two businessmen are talking. Yes. Two businessmen are talking.
Yes, sir.
Or discussing something.
Yes, sir.
Right. So it must be, or it should be, formal oral communication. All right. You cannot talk like how you talk to your friends. Fine. That is different. Okay. And importance of oral communication. So it improves your own academic performance. Do you agree? It improves your own academic performance. How? How? How does it improve your academic performance? How communication improves your academic performance? Please respond. How? We saw it improves communication, improves or develops relationships. That is okay. That we agreed. But here the scenario is different. It is said communication improves your academic performance. How? Just make it simple. You don't have to break your head. Any responses? How? Follow me?
Yes, sir.
Yes. See, when you have learned to write effectively, when you're able to communicate effectively, you can write convincing answers, you can produce quality answers in your manuscripts, isn't it? In your answers. Yes, quality answers. And your responses to your teacher questions in the classroom would be more appropriate, relevant, correct. Obviously, this improves your academic performance. Okay, your academic performance is assessed through tests, isn't it? Test performances, your writing, your oral tests. All right. And next, It increases the communication increases your employment options, employability. It increases your employability. You get more offers from the recruiters. Probably in the third year, you will have to attend interviews, isn't it? There is a disturbance in the line, please. Hello? Hello? Hello, there is a disturbance. Hello? Yeah. Somebody is playing background music for my presentation. Thank God. I must thank God, or I must thank the person who is playing background music for my presentation. Yeah. All right. Follow me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
increases
sir.
your
sir.
employability. You get more offers. For example, if you are good at communication skills, you get the recruiters are ready to grab you. Yes. So
Yes, sir.
it is important that you must develop your cognitive skills and communication skills as well. Cognitive skills, which mean your subject knowledge. All right. This will help you to get a better employment in future, and helps to develop good human relations with others. So you'd be a good human is when you are communicating well or good with others, you get more relationships. You become a good human. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Next, nonverbal communication. What do you mean by nonverbal communication? Just now, recently, we have discussed about nonverbal communication. It's nothing but facial expressions. We have long faces when somebody scolds us, isn't it? For example, this morning, imagine your dad has scolded you for waking up late or going late to college. And you would be having or showing long faces to your parent, isn't it? Facial expressions. And when you meet your friend, you smile or laugh, you express your happiness. Yes? We
Yes, sir.
express, yes, we use facial expressions to convey our mood or temperament. And we must learn that. For example, the actors, they are very good at facial expressions, isn't it? And sometimes you do not, and sometimes you do not know whether your friend is smiling or whether he is angry on you, or we do not know. We cannot. Sometimes we cannot assess. We get confused with your friend's facial expressions. So you must learn to express appropriately. Okay. And eye contact. That's more important. When you talk to someone, you must look into their eyes, not elsewhere. Okay. And gestures, your hand movements, your nod, that shows your approval or disapproval. Your positive behavior could be expressed through your gestures and through body language, the way you sit, the way you talk, the way you walk, your body language. What you do when you talk to someone, your posture, sitting posture, standing posture, that's more important. And last comes proximity and touch. This paves way for building intimacy, closeness. That is why we shake our hands when we meet first. Yes? Do you have the habit of shaking hands? Hello, follow me.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
touch.
Yes, sir.
Sense of touch. Sense of touch.
Yes, sir.
Sense of touch. All right. That expresses your love and affection. Okay, sense of touch. A small pat at the back of your friend after achieving something. Yes, that's more important. Non-verbal communication. And most of our communication is non-verbal. Yes, do you agree? Most of our communication is non-verbal. We don't use words, rather, our expressions and movements talks a lot for you. All right? Yeah. Next, here are some examples for facial expressions. Your face can show many feelings, different emotions. And what this first emoticon expresses? Can you guess the first emoticon? Emotions plus icon, it's clubbed together. We call it as emoticons. We often use in our mobile phones, isn't it? So while we text messages, yes, don't you use these emoticons?
Yes, sir.
Yes. How often
Yes,
we
sir.
use it? How often do you use this? Quite often we use this.
Expressions.
Yeah. A thumbs up. Yes. And some awkward expression. The first one. The second one is thumbs up. Okay. You say you agree. Yes. And third one, you are weeping, crying, weeping.
Crying.
And fourth.
Happy.
The last one. Happy mood. Yeah.
Happy.
Or meditating, thinking about something. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Good. Your responses are good. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
You're responding well to me. Okay, next, another set of expressions. The first one is anger.
Angry.
Angry. Yes, anger. The person is expressing anger. Second,
Joy.
joy.
Jolly.
Do not read the captions. Rather, try to guess it. All right.
Jolly.
Third, jolly. Okay, surprise. Getting surprised. Imagine your dad gets you a new bike. Okay, you're getting surprised on your birthday. Yes, as a birthday gift. All right, it's surprise. Next, disgust. Okay, hatred, disappointment, disgust. All right. And next, sadness, expressing sadness,
Crying.
crying,
Sadness.
yeah, and expressing your worries. All right. For example, what to say? Your mobile phone got repaired. Okay, imagine your mobile phone suddenly, unexpectedly, your mobile phone has got repaired. Okay, your sadness, expressing your sadness, so that you cannot communicate to your friends. Okay. Then fear. Last comes fear. Fear. For example, when you watch horror movies, okay, you would encounter such experiences. Fear, sense of fear. Okay. Next, eye contact. Maintaining appropriate eye contact when speaking with others helps communication. This supplements your communication. Additional. You can communicate through your eyes. Yes. The person's feelings, emotions can be expressed through eyes. Do you agree? Yeah. So
Sir.
whenever you talk to someone, you have to look into their eyes. All right? Not elsewhere. Fine. You would find their dress code interesting or appealing or whatever, but still you have to look into their eyes while getting something. That's more important. All right. Next, gestures also convey messages, what you intended to. Waving, pointing out something, nodding of your head. For example, you agree. So I'm talking to you, you agree, and sometimes you disagree. You nod your head to express your agreement. And thumbs up, superb. Okay, the session is over. Superb, thumbs up. Okay, good, very good. The session is over. Yawning, and we yawn, isn't it? I couldn't find out. I can't find you whether you're keenly attending or listening, or sometimes we tend to yawn, isn't it? Yawning during class hours. Have you ever experienced this? Teachers scolding you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Imagine your teacher will be taking class seriously.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And we cannot control our yawning. Yes, we cannot control.
Yes, sir.
And we yawn inside our mouth itself. Yes. I used to do this, yawning inside the mouth. Okay. I don't reveal it outside. Yes, I don't express it outside. Yawning inside your mouth. You're not expressing it outside. Have you ever experienced this? Have you seen persons yawning? Yawning?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. All right. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Next, body language. What do you mean by body language? We know English language.
Body
language. Okay. Body expressions. Good. Excellent. Body
Yes, sir.
expressions. A great deal of your message, that is true message, can be communicated through your body movements and posture. Okay, your true nature, your true color could be disclosed through your behavior, can be identified, or it is manifested in your behavior, the person's behavior. It can be found. Okay, the person's behavior, how the person behaves. Yes. Also, you can communicate through your body language. For example, you wanted to praise someone. You use your hand movements. Yes. You give positive signs. You communicate positive signs. When you encourage someone, come on, yes, you can. Yes. And to work effectively with others, you need to read body language and ensure you are not conveying the wrong signals. So you must learn to use appropriate body language when you work with others. For example, after your studies, you would get employed in your workplace. You must understand each other. What your superior, your boss motives, intentions through his behavior. Okay, my boss is in he is in tensed mode. So you can understand this through his behavior, isn't it? And you can understand your teachers, your lecturers, temperament, mindset. Yes, through their behaviors, how they approach, how they talk to you, how they approach, the way they walk, and the way they address you, etc., etc. All right. So you get some signals, you get some cues to understand what they are saying, trying to say with their body language. All right. Yeah. Next.
Yes, sir.
For example, simple example. Can you? The child doesn't speak in the beginning. Okay, it gradually starts learning to speak, and you would guess. Okay, the communication. You would guess what the child wants or needs through its body language, isn't it? Do you agree? Have you ever experienced this? The child's communication through body language.
Yes.
Do you all like children?
Yes,
Playing
sir.
with children? Do you spend
Yes, sir.
time playing with children?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. That gives you it relieves your tension. I would say it relieves not tension.
Yes, sir.
It makes you happy, puts you in a happy mode. Okay, next up, a great deal of your, I'm sorry, I think it's getting repeated. Yeah, the communication equation. We have an equation for communication. So what you hear, so the tone of voice, the vocal clarity, verbal expressiveness. See, 40% of the message is received through your auditory senses. That is your hearing senses. The messages, for example, where when you attend lectures, when you attend classes, lectures, the 40% of information is gained or obtained through your hearing senses. Imagine if you are if you have got hearing impairment, deafness. Can you get the information? Can you get the information?
Yes, sir.
Imagine you are deaf. Imagine you are you have got hearing impairment. You have got hearing disabilities. Can you get the information now? No. Obviously, no.
No.
Yeah. So 40% of the messages, okay, gained through our sense of hearing. All right. Okay. Next, what you see or feel, your facial expressions, your dress and grooming, posture, eye contact, touch, and gesture. So 50% of the messages are received through your eyes, vision. We watch now. You're watching my slides, is viewing my slides, isn't it? You get 50% of information, okay, through viewing, okay, visualization, and the words. The least 10% of the messages are through words, that is verbal communication. And now I hope you can understand the importance of non-verbal communication. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. Next, what happens in the process of communication? We have been talking about communication for a long time. Yeah. What is happening in the process of communication?
Messages, feedback messages.
Come again, please.
So we share our messages.
We share our messages. So try to interpret.
And feedback messages in the throat.
Throat. Okay. Okay. Now try to interpret the diagram or the picture which is displayed to you. Okay. Now the message is being encoded. We'll start from the left. Okay, from the left person. All right. Yes, follow me.
Sir.
Do you follow me? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Encoding. The message is being created, encoded. You're coding. Okay. The message is being created. Okay. The message is ready to transfer. Okay. That is encoding. Okay. The person who sends the message, we call it as encoder, encoding the message. All right. Message is being transferred and it is decoded, interpreted. We decoding, understanding the message. Okay. Decoding. Have received the message. Once you received the message, you decode it, you understand it, you interpret it, you understand what it is. All right. And again, you are encoding. Okay, encoding. Again, you send the message in response. Okay, in response to the message received. All right. Again, you encode. And it is a cyclic process, the communication. Yes? Is it clear now?
Yes,
Is it
sir.
clear now? Thank you. The sender first develops an idea. The sender of the message develops an idea, and which is composed into a message and then transmitted to other party. It is transferred to other person. The message which is created, developed, is transferred to other person. And the person who is receiving the message is to interpret, understand the message received. All right. And developing a message is known as encoding, and interpreting the message is referred to as decoding. Is that clear for you? Is that
Yes,
clear
sir.
for you? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, I'm getting a disturbance. Please mute. All right, thank you. Advantage is every now and then I'm getting music, okay, musical background. Yeah, Thank you. That is quite pleasing also. Yeah, do you all enjoy?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The background, I'm talking about the background music,
Yes, sir.
which is played quite often. Huh? Every now and then, some background music. For example, when a hero is being introduced for the first time in a movie, yes, we get some.
Yes, sir.
What do you call that? BGM.
Yes, sir.
Am I
Yes, sir.
correct? Am I
BGM.
correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Sir.
Thank you.
Sir.
You are producing different effects, sound effects. Thanks a lot. Okay. And advantages of effective communication. What do you mean by advantages of the effective communication? The benefits. What do you get out of effective communication? Yes. Building trust. What do you mean by building trust? Building trust.
Sir, building works.
Oh, no. Don't take the literal meaning. Building trust. Are you studying civil engineering? The person who has answered recently. Yes. What is your which branch you have selected? Huh? All right. Building trust. Okay. No, when somebody is communicating effectively, okay, you can trust the person. You can trust the communicator. Okay. Yes, you can trust. He would be reliable. Okay. You can rely on him. Building trust. You can develop confidence in him. Okay. And increases productivity. What do you mean by increases productivity? For example, if the lecturer is communicating effectively to the students could be more productive in their works. What do you mean by that? Productive works. It results in productive works. You can expect productive outcomes. What do you mean by that from the students? You can persuade someone to do something. The lecturer could extract, if he is good at communication, he can extract work from the students, productive or creative works from the students. He can get good responses from the students. Next, it reduces stress. Effective communication, it reduces stress. How? Can you guess? Reduces stress. For example, imagine your lecturer has asked you a question. You very well know the answer, but you are unable to express through words. You're not able to communicate effectively. Because of that, you get stressed. When you're not able to communicate effectively, when you're not able to respond to communication effectively, you get stressed. You get frustrated, isn't it? Have you ever experienced this? Have you ever experienced this?
Sir.
You get frustrated when you're
Yes,
not able
sir.
to respond or communicate effectively to the question asked. And next, better understand what others are saying. You can better understand what others are saying. All right? Understand is more important. Only then you can respond back appropriately. All right? Without proper understanding, your communication or your responses would go wrong. All right. And next, finally, it creates better relationships. Creating better relationships. All right. What do you mean by better relationships? You can maintain good relationships with your friends, with your parents, with your teachers, with the elders, with your juniors, etc.
Brothers.
Brothers, sisters,
Families.
family members, okay, with everyone. Okay. Effective communication skills. So for this, you need to have good eye contact. Yes, and good body language, appropriate body language, and silence sometimes. Silence. You don't have to be silent always, but at certain places or certain moments, we have to be silent. All right? Wives, for example, sometimes while listening or trying to understand somebody's behavior or their expressions, you have to be silent. And checking for understanding. You must understand whether you have understood the concept or not, whether you have understood what he is saying or not. Only then you can respond back effectively. Okay? And the smiling face. What do you mean by a smiling face? Smiling face. Why do you want to have smiling face for communication? A pleasing personality. In order to have a pleasing personality, a pleasant look. Imagine if somebody frowns at you always, what would be your response? Will you talk to them? Yes? Will you talk to that particular person? So that you have to have a smiling face. What is the difference between smile and laugh? What is the difference between smile and laugh? Follow me. Can you understand my question?
Yes, sir.
What is the difference between smile and laugh?
Comedy na laughing.
Okay. Tragedy na smiling. Good. That is a good attempt. Comedy, when we watch comedies, now we laugh. Yes? We laugh loud. Smile, only the lip movement. Okay? Smile. When you pose for a photograph, yes, we smile. Do you laugh at that time? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Selfie, while taking selfie, do you
Selfie.
smile or laugh? No. Do you laugh or smile at that time?
Smiling.
Lip movement.
Selfie na smile, sir.
Okay.
Smile, sir. Smile, sir.
Little smile, sir.
Biggest smile.
Little smile.
Little smile. Okay. Good. Thank you. Okay. Next, summarizing what has been said. Okay. Summarize. The lecturer should summarize what has been discussed in class at last, focusing on the important points. For example, when you intend to extract some work, for example, from your subordinates or persons who are working under your guidance, okay, you must focus on the important points. Fine. And encouragement to continue. You must encourage. When do you encourage someone? Do you have the habit of encouraging someone? Why encouragement is necessary? Do you have the habit of encouraging someone?
Yes.
Yes,
sir.
really?
Yes,
So
sir.
when do you
Yes,
encourage
sir.
someone? Whom do you
Sir.
encourage? Are you being encouraged? Give me an example.
Playing.
While playing, we encourage our friends. Good. Then,
Sir, interview.
while learning, while attending interviews, we encourage. Yes, good. Thank you. And some questions. You must ask some questions, like what I'm doing now. Okay, asking some questions while communicating, in order to evaluate whether they have understood what you're saying. All right, checking their understanding. All right. Next, we have some barriers to effective communications. What do you mean by barriers? Barriers. Barriers to effective communication. We have been learning about communication, effective communication. Now, let me talk about barriers. Yes? Yes, please. What did you say? I couldn't get you. Please come again. Barriers, obstacles. Barriers, obstacles, problems. All right. To make it more simple, problems, barriers to effective communication. The language problem. Lack of words to express ideas and feelings. Language problem. Noise, some disturbances, noise. You get some noise in the environment. Distractions, maybe by a friend. Distractions, getting disturbed, and put downs, negative criticism. Criticize, oh, what is that you're speaking? Your talk is very much irrelevant. Negative criticism. Lack of interest. The person is not interested in the topic which he is speaking. That affects the communication. He cannot be effective. Do you agree? Follow me?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
And
sir.
some
Sir.
kind of disabilities. Psychological can be both psychological and physiological. All right? Some mental illness or some physical problems. Headache, for example. And discomfort. What is that? Discomfort with the can somebody help me? Discomfort with the
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
no, what is that? Please read out for me. Discomfort with the audience. What is that? Okay. Discomfort with the topic. Discomfort with the topic. If you are not
Hello, sir.
familiar, yes. What is the problem? Any problem? Hello?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Any problem?
Yes, sir.
Any
Yes, sir.
problem?
No, sir.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Discomfort with the topic. For example, if the person is not comfortable with the topic which he is speaking, or if he doesn't have much knowledge about the topic, so obviously it ends up in a failure. The communication ends up in a failure. And distance, creating a distance. If at all there is a distance, more distance, it cannot reach the last rows, isn't it? Audibility, distance, and too many questions. Imagine the speaker asks too many questions. Then the problem arises. And other people interference of other people. Okay. And time management is very essential. All right? Time management. Okay. Next, how to achieve effective communication. Here, we are in the climax. How to achieve effective communication. So communication is a skill that requires practice. So practice. Practice makes man. Can you complete? Perfect. Good. Practice makes man perfect. You have to practice a lot. And carefully prepare and present your message. Preparation, that's more important. Meticulously, very carefully, you're preparing your speech, your message. For example, you'll be
Hello, sir.
preparing for seminars. Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, please. Yes, ma'am. Any question? Any problem?
No,
Somebody
sir.
said, somebody said hello, sir.
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Carefully, very carefully, you are preparing. If you are prepared well for the seminar, for example, you'll be confident enough to deliver the speech. And stay alert for any signs that your audience are misinterpreting the message. For example, if the message is being misinterpreted, you should be able to rectify. Okay, make sure your audience receives message what you have transferred correctly. Correct. Next, know what you want to say and why. The purpose of your communication, that's more important. And whom you are communicating. The audience, you should know the audience background. All right, that's more important. The purpose of your communication, your intentions of the message, that's more important. And how will you say it? What do you mean by how will you say it? The way you express, the way you communicate your ideas and thoughts, that's more important. That could be expressed through your behavior, eye contact, your verbal, both verbal and non-verbal cues or communication. Fine. And some other tips to obtain a better command of the English language or any other language. Expand your vocabulary. You have to enrich your vocabulary, word power. Okay, how many words do you know altogether? Your word power. Approximately. Approximately. I'd like to know your word power. $500, 2,000, or 1,000 and above, or 2,000 and above. Approximately. Approximately.
500.
500 plus or minus.
500, sir.
Okay, good. So, are you able to communicate effectively with the vocabulary which you know? Can you communicate effectively with the 500 vocabulary which you know? Yes, sir. No, I'd like to know your experience.
Sir.
Yes. Okay. Now, minimum we must know 700 words to communicate. Minimum 700 words. A basic communication, we need to know 700 words. Word power. All right. So it is high time you expanded your word power, enriched your word power. All right. Vocabulary. So start reading. Develop the habit of reading. Cultivate the habit of reading in your minds. How often do you read? Do you have the habit of reading? How often do you read? Do you like reading? That's more important. Okay, think about it. And writing more. You have to write a lot. Not mere copying the answers. You have to be creative, productive. You have to create knowledge. Originality. Original writing. Original piece of work. And next, practice your listening skills. You can listen to n number of videos which are available online. You could watch TED Talks, comics. You can watch English movies with subtitles. Yes, listening. You have to listen a lot. Be considerate of other speakers by waiting until they are done before starting your views. You have to listen. Thereafter, you can respond back. Okay? That's more important. You must lend your ears. Good listeners have become good leaders. You agree?
Yes, sir.
Learn to understand by
Yes,
being
sir.
open-minded. Learn to understand by being open-minded. Do not be narrow-minded, fickle-minded, weak-minded. Do not be narrow-minded. Be open. Accept others' perspectives, others' opinions. Respect. Accept. All right? Put yourself in
Yes, sir.
others' shoes. Put yourself in others' shoes. Try to understand their situation. Avoid trying to communicate when in an emotional state. You lose objectivity and may say something inappropriate or regrettable. Correct? That's more important. So when you are in an emotional state, when you are not in a balanced state, when you are unstable, when your mind is unstable, do not talk. There is a common saying, do not talk when you are angry. Yes? Because you lose control. Colloquially, slip of the tongue. Isn't it? Unknowingly, you may use some inappropriate words. All right? You can't take back the words. Yes? So there is a saying in Tamil, தீயினால் சுட்டப்புண் உள்ளாரும். Come on, complete it. தீயினால் சுட்டப்புண் உள்ளாரும்.
மாறாதே நாவினால் சுற்றவடு.
Excellent. So you must think twice before you speak, especially when your emotions are unstable. You have to think twice. All right, thank you. Next, the art of listening. If we were supposed to talk more than listen, we would have been given 2 mouths and 1 ear, said by Mark Twain. Can you imagine people with 2 mouths and 1 ear? Yes? Yes, can you imagine? So we have to listen a lot. That is why we have 2 ears. All right? Yeah. And listening skills. It is important aspect in human communication. Listening process constitutes 5 elements. That is hearing, attending, understanding, responding, and remembering. You hear to many different sounds, words, but you attend to a few, isn't it? And you understand the message which is attended, and you respond back. And you have to remember certain messages. Should stay back in your mind. Next, speaking activity. See this, you can practice this for and against. A speaker has 30 seconds to talk for a topic, and then another 30 seconds would be allotted to speak against it. Okay, for and against. It is an activity. Okay? The topics are now like the money can buy your happiness. Smoking cigarettes should be banned. Fashion is important. Any common topics can be. This can be administered in the classroom. Correct? The speaking activity. And now test yourself. When I think of communicating with someone, I generally focus on the what? Correctness of speech, content, or how and what of the presentation. Your answer, please. When I think of communicating with someone, I generally focus on the dash. We have options. Option A, correctness of speech. Option B, content.
Option, sir.
Which one? Option A, correctness of speech. Option B, content. Option C, how and what of the presentation.
Option A, sir.
Option A.
Sir, option B.
Sir, option A.
Option
Option A, sir.
You have only 3 options, sir. You have only A, B, C. Okay, thank you. It's left to you. Okay, how and what of the presentation? Okay, next, test yourself The ability to communicate effectively is dash. The ability to communicate effectively is dash. It is, whether it is a learned behavior or it is an acquired behavior or it is a causal behavior. Okay, think about it. Think about it. Okay, conclusion. We'll come to the conclusion. Okay, communication plays a predominant role in our lives today. Do you agree with this? The major role. It plays a major role. Communication. Without communication, you cannot make things done. It is hard to think of a single activity that we engage in that doesn't involve communication in some way. Very difficult. Every single activity involves communication. And in our busy world, we sometimes forget just how important communications are to our success. We are not bothered or we forget the importance of communications. So at the third year, in the third year, you will come to know the importance of communications, isn't it? Only in the third year. So you wanted to you wanted to attend interviews. Yes. So in that case, you need to have good communication skills. Obviously, in order to attain success, communication plays a vital role. And for building good relationships, and ultimately it gives you happiness in life. It gives you happiness in life. But indeed, communications does play a major role in achieving all of our goals. We forget, but try to understand that communication is more important to achieve all your goals. Right? So, any queries? Any queries? Hello? Follow me. Are you there?
Sir.
Sir.
Any queries?
Yes,
Any-
sir.
any
Following,
questions,
sir.
questions,
Following.
clarifications needed?
Following.
It's over. The session is over. Any clarifications? Any doubts?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Do you find it useful?
Yes,
Sir,
sir.
very
Yes,
useful,
sir.
sir.
Very useful, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Any doubts? Any doubts? Any questions? You can ask. Any questions? Do you have any questions?
No,
to
sir.
ask me?
No, sir. No, sir.
No, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir.
Wish you all the very
Thank you,
best.
sir.
Wish you all the very best.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for your patient
Thank you, sir.
listening.
Thank you, sir.
for your patient listening.
Thank you for the
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Left hand, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma. Thank you.
I request our Vice Principal to propose vote of thanks.
A very pleasant good morning again to everyone. At this juncture, I express my sincere thanks to our beloved principal, Dr. A. Anthony Fernandez, for granting us permission to conduct this webinar. Thank you, sir. With deep appreciation and thanks, I express my gratitude to the resource person, Mr. R. Praveen, for having conducted this seminar. He readily accepted our invitation at our request. Mr. Praveen, your session was lively, informative, and very interactive.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sure, the attendees surely would have benefited a lot from your address. So thank you so much, Mr. Praveen.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I thank all the staff of Basic Science Department for their kind support. Thank you, dear staff. I thank all the students and other attendees who joined us in this webinar in Google Meet and also via YouTube Live. Thank you, dear students. Thanks to all of you again. Gracias.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Students, please log out.
Thank you. Class finished, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Please log out.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Group lesson.